Hey, how'd you guys like our space jazz porn music that we were playing at the beginning? No, that's from Under Killing Moon. Welcome to the Courtesy Flush. Tonight we're going to be playing a game neither of us have ever played. I play a lot of 90s FMV weird games, but this is one of those that escaped me. I've seen it. Nick has only heard about it because it was requested by, I think, either Wraith, Darkstar, or Raging Goblin, one of you two guys. So we're going to do it.
We're going to have a time of it.
Yeah, and Billy, that's exactly what happens in this game. It's a weird noir space game. If you haven't played Under a Killing Moon, it's pretty good. It's dated, but pretty good. You can appreciate it if you can kind of lower your standards for what games are these days. I think that's kind of the point of us playing the adventure games, because some of these are pretty good. Not all of them. Nick can tell me which ones he doesn't like if he wants to.
I think the only game we've played that I've actively disliked
SWAT.
was SWAT.
SWAT, yes.
The other ones,
Daryl F. Gates, Police Quest 5, SWAT.
The other ones were like enjoyable in some way.
Well, you haven't played the other Police Quest games, so I'm sure you're going to love those if we ever play them. I hope you like Police Procedure, because boy oh boy does Daryl F. Gates love him some Police Procedure. Anyway, we're not here to play Police Quest. We're going to play some Harvester. So if you go ahead and load that up, and I will end the music. And now it sounds like Final Fantasy music for some reason. I don't know. Nobuo Uematsu he likes to use oboes a lot in his music. Music off! There we go. Where did it go? It's Harvester. It's up the top there.
Ah, there it is.
There he is, yeah. So he's going to launch it. It's going to load, and we'll pop over to the stream. That's right. Here we go, running it in DOS mode. Merit Studios. I bet these guys were important back in 1996 or 5. They got a computer screen. Welcome to Harvester, population 51. Also, the sign is... wow, that is what is that, a cigarette butt? Why is the sign as big as a cigarette butt? Uh-oh, somebody spilled some red paint on the... oh, I hate that.
Must be recess.
Must be recess. Let me turn your mic up, Nick. I can't hear you. There we go. Is this GM's new fusion power plant for the fusion engine that they're coming out with this year? Oop, did I release that information too early? Please don't sue me, GM. Oh, make a left. I would say let's not make a left. That looks like somebody just playing Operation to me.
Yeah. The game. I mean, especially with the stuff around the mouth, like blood doesn't do that.
No. Harvester. Have you guys ever played any simulations? Not really. I don't think we've ever. Well, we have racing games and stuff we're gonna play with our racing wheel that we have, but not yet. Not yet.
Me and Michael, quite some time ago at this point, did a night of trains.
Right.
And then we've also done the Derail Valley, which was a little less simulator.
Yeah, it was more VR nonsense. But Nick here is a train expert, an engine expert. He also volunteers with poor orphaned trains that no longer have homes. I'll turn the music down. Uh-oh. Evening, Wraith. Howdy. The only Master Chef. Oh no, this man's got no shirt on. That's a quick way to get back, Nate. Don't sleep on old sheets with no shirt on. Puts on his 90s clothing. I'm gonna go to... Ammunition is precious, so don't waste it. What? There's ammunition in this game? Oh boy! You're gonna be shooting something, Nick.
This can only end well. Okay. If you get stuck on a puzzle, try using items in crazy illogical ways. This is shaping up to be a thing.
Yes. Save your game often, especially before something crazy, illogical, or dangerous.
Oh boy.
Holding down the control button plus arrow keys allows you to attack opponents. So, I guess that's going to be useful. The control being on the... You know where that is. Use computers.
Yeah. That, depending on where my hands naturally want to be at, that wouldn't actually be that bad.
It's the 90s, so WADS was kind of a rare thing. Look before you leap. That's a pretty...
That's just general life advice.
Yeah.
Help screen can be helpful, or better yet, read the manual. Do we have a...
Read the manual? What a good no. The last time we read the manual, we got knowledge, and that is not acceptable when we're playing a game. I feel like that's cheating. Hold on, I'm actually gonna... No, you go ahead. I'm just making sure I got my... taking care of the stream back here.
And you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Right-clicking on some objects in inventory shows a close-up of that object.
That's fair.
Press escape to bring up menu. You can combine objects into new objects by clicking and dragging them onto one another. Sound levels can be adjusted. Screen too dark. Check your photo on the inventory screen. It will get worse as you take more damage. Okay. Special items that restore your health. After finding record.
Oh, hi, Tom.
So apparently we're finding stuff during the day, and at nighttime we cause problems on purpose. Got it. Double-click the left mouse button on an exit to go through instantly. I have no idea why I was trying to pronounce that way. But anyways, right button to attack.
There we go.
Left-click your character or press I to view inventory. Left-click to grab it. Right-click, put it into inventory. Penny saved is hardly worth the effort.
Very good life advice.
Use left mouse button to move around.
Very nice, Channel Poops. Also, I added a diamond next to your name, Tom. Now you should feel special. Because that's what I do. I am a glorious lord and very generous.
Okay, I think
I also did that to you too, Deputy, so now you guys have diamonds. What does that mean? I don't know. They just gave me them, and I'm just going to give them out. Examine your inventory. See, oh, shit, you just punch people? Wow, nice high school photo. Welcome to Harvest Land, Furniture Warehouse.
Okay.
Examine the P-47 Thunderbolt.
Oh, scale.
And a 1/48 scale P-47 Thunderbolt with broken propeller.
Spitfire?
P-51 Mustang.
Even better.
A hastily glued P-51 Mustang in exact 1/36 scale.
1/36 is weird. Okay.
Nick's also a math guy.
No, well...
You are. You're a math magician.
But, like, the 1/48th is O scale, which is, like, the Lionel trains. It's that size.
Oh, okay.
1/36 doesn't correspond to anything I know necessarily, so it's, like, just that's a weird number to come up with.
He also collects models and things.
1 inch, 1 yard. That could be a thing. Okay, anyways.
When are you doing more Vampire Masquerade like before? We are actually working on playing through Shadowrun right now. We'll probably revisit Vampire in a later date. Chew marks are visible at the end of this ballpoint pen. Yeah, you know, if you open up someone's dresser drawer and they don't have chew marks on the back of their pen, they're probably a psychopath. 25-cent piece, dated 1952. Are those just dirts? Ooh, pick up the shades. As of yet, the future isn't so bright. Well, this game predicted a lot, didn't it? Also, the top of your dresser has got graffiti on it. I think that says E equals MC squared up there. There's like a rabbit with a cigarette in its mouth. 26 something. I don't know. Your character just seems to be just a mess. Also, those floorboards are tiny. That's a lot of little tiny floorboards.
Why would you do that to yourself, trying to lay a floor like that?
Ugh.
Apparently we can't glare with the sunglasses.
No Gunpla models in the room. Lame. Man, this looks like some high-intensity adventure. I don't know if I can handle what comes next. Neither can we, clumsy.
7 flannel shirts accompanied with matching blue jeans are hanging neatly in the closet.
Look, Ma, I laid the floor with paint stirrer sticks. Wow, you're...
I mean...
Never do the floor intake.
Granted, he has a style. I'm concerned about the fact that
7 flannel shirts accompanied with matching blue jeans are hanging neatly in a closet. I feel attacked. This is literally that's my whole... And I don't... You know what's funny is he has 7 pairs of blue jeans. I have 3.
Well, that's
because they're expensive.
That's the thing. Like, I'm concerned about the high number of blue jeans. Is like you're wearing it one day and then throwing it in the wash, and also the fact that he only apparently has 1 week's worth of clothes.
7 days a week, yeah. Examine the record player. Paper Doll by the Mills Brothers sits on the turntable.
Clarinet.
3 hours later, so shell-shocked they have to shut it off. Check out that sweet boiler radiator. The one in the foreground.
It's...
Sorry, Tom. He's not interested in that old boomer technology.
It won't let me.
Dude, I have 3 outfits and a suit. Wearing a uniform to work your entire adult life does that. Yeah. Whack. Very whack. Can't trade hot dogs for pants. Unfortunately, my hot dog barter system is not taken off. But I'm working on it. The mattress is speckled with odd stains. I don't think they're very odd. We all know what they are.
I didn't need to know that.
Examine the binoculars. A pair of plastic binoculars with lenses melted to the table. What? So he left it there on a windowsill, and so the sun melted the lenses?
Well, no, it's not even on the windowsill. It's on the table, which is below the window.
So those plants are getting plenty of sun.
And I guess you could have the sun melting them. I was wondering if he did something to melt the binoculars. I don't know.
I like the folding. That's what. Yeah, the deputy is just like, I like the folding chair in the corner so people can watch him sleep.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Such as you'd find at swap meets, bingo parlors, and other religious gatherings. That's true. Is that a telescope or some kind of nuclear rod for a submarine? It's a clarinet. Obviously, some fat high school girl left it there. Wow. That's just mean.
I don't know.
Is there anything in the trash can? Do we want to know what's in the trash can?
No, the trash can is apparently so clean you could eat from it.
His room is so clean. That is the neatest room.
I have concerns about this kid.
Is it a kid? Oh, man, he walks with such a slouch. Who's this guy?
Younger brother, I'm assuming.
Let's talk to Hank.
What?
Poor Hank. He's gonna get he's gonna deal with his brother who's got amnesia.
Leave me alone, Steve, or I'll tell Mom on you.
Who is Mom?
Mom's in the kitchen, and if you bug me, I'll call her.
Look, do you know me?
Wish I didn't, 'cause then you wouldn't be my brother, and I'd have your room, and all the presents at Christmas. Though I will soon enough anyway, 'cause you're a lousy rat.
You're my brother?
No duh.
Listen, I don't mean to, bug you, but I can't seem to remember anything. Will you please just tell me who you are?
Mom, Steve is bugging me.
Steve, leave Hank alone right now.
What? Oh no.
Okay, so they're apparently running with the fact that we have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah.
Also, like, I just have many, many, many questions.
Well, why is it calling you a lousy rat?
Why am I a rat? What did I do to you?
You went and got all mushy on that girl, and now you're lighting out on me. Well, if that's the way you're gonna be, then you can drop dead.
Yeah, what the hell's lighting out?
What do you mean I'm lighting out on you?
First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes Steve in a baby carriage.
What the hell are you talking about?
Mom, Steve said hell.
Young man, don't you dare use that kind of language in this house.
How'd you like that?
Why are you so mad at me?
Because you're lighting out on me to go off with that stupid girl. So tough it. I don't care anyway.
What's this girl's name?
I don't know what girl you're talking about.
All summer, it's been Stephanie this and Stephanie that. And now you don't remember? You think I'm dumb or something?
No, I just can't remember anything, like I said.
Well, you better remember quick, because the wedding's in 2 weeks.
What?
Leave me alone so I can watch TV.
That's a weird-looking television. Come to think of it, this whole place looks totally retro.
What do you mean, retro? All TVs look alike.
Sure, basically. But this is one old-fashioned clunker.
Old-fashioned? It's brand new.
Yeah, but look at the tube. Where's the remote control?
Wow.
What's that?
That guy got shot, and
now
like
that I
a
think about
pool
it,
of blood came out.
I can't remember.
And what was that you said about retro rockets?
Wow.
No, retro. It means... Oh man, I know what I mean. That everything here is wrong. But I can't picture the difference.
Is this Quantum
Then
Leap?
Shut up and quit bugging me. I'm watching my terrible show.
Yeah, that kid's got Mom on lockdown.
Have you noticed that your show is in black and white?
What else? Color? On a TV?
Well, I think I've seen a colored television before.
Have not. Quit it or I'm gonna tell.
Hey, look at that. Your mother lets you watch this stuff?
Sure. This is part of history. What made America great. And besides, blood and guts are neato.
You know what? You're right. That really is neat.
I'm glad you're catching on, Steve. You're not too bad for a lousy rat.
Yeah, what's this cowboy show you're watching?
Have you noticed that your show is...
Oh no,
What?
we already went
Well,
through
yeah.
that.
Hey, look at...
Sure. What made it? And besides,
Yeah, that's...
I'm
Goodbye.
good. Finally.
Blood and guts are neato. People actually used to not have remotes. How did they change the channel?
A recently watered plastic plant.
Oh. An old-fashioned console television.
Okay.
What's the coloring book? A box of crayons and a Range Rider coloring book. Wow, this guy walks kind of doopy. Fine bone china gleams from the mahogany shelves.
Okay. Now that's the cabinet clock.
A pendulum-driven cuckoo clock with cuckoo oddly absent.
I Isn't that just a regular clock then?
I told you.
Because it doesn't look like a cuckoo clock in the sense
I
of
forgot
there's
who-
the housing with the doot-doot.
I remember the weird in between when remotes were corded, couldn't lose it, but the dog tripped over on it and shot it across the room. Yeah. You know, yeah, they changed the channel to kids. You know, slave labor. Okay,
That
check
does
that.
not look-
What's that box on top of the shelf there? Nothing. Let's go in the kitchen and say hello to our Mrs. Beaver that we have in this house. Oh. Yeah, let's grab a newspaper. Let's see what day it is. Right-click to put it in your inventory, and then you click on your inventory. Yeah. Wow, they couldn't have made these any smaller. All right. I think you right-click to look at it. All right. No. Click it on your character.
Damn it.
No. What was it like? To examine something? What did you hit?
I
Check the maybe put it on that character's head above there. Yeah. Yeah. No. What was the thing? Was it like right click? No. Yeah, how do you examine stuff? Didn't say like some items could be examined by right-clicking on them? I think that's what it said. Yeah, maybe you just can't examine it. Maybe you don't want to look at the newspaper. It says spring 1953 on the top right corner.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what the date it said when we picked up the quarter was.
1952?
Was it 52?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I was getting tripped between 52 and 56.
Yeah.
And if it was 56, it was going to be especially weirdness going on. Not that there isn't weirdness going on anyways, but it was going to be especially weirdness.
All right, let's go in there and see how this person is. Yeah, examine. Don't punch. Don't punch the baby. That's a giant baby, by the way. An expertly embroidered what?
Old-fashioned wall plat.
Oh. Does it say eat them all?
Examine wall
Or
sampler?
kill them all?
Oh.
I think it says kill them all. Wow, Mom is metal. All right, let's talk to her.
Well, hello there. How about some cookies? There's plenty of rejects in the trash.
Who are you?
That's a fine way to talk to your mother.
You're my mother?
In the trash.
That's right. Though sometimes I get treated like the hired help around here.
I don't remember you.
Of course you don't. Until you need your socks washed.
No, you don't understand. I can't remember where I am or even who I am.
Land's sake, stop your joshing, won't you?
Wow.
Honestly, Steve, I thought you'd grow up a little after graduation. I only hope that new job will plant your feet on the ground.
So that's my name. Steve.
Your name will be M.U.D. Mud if you don't stop teasing me, young man.
Listen, this may sound strange, but I've lost my memory. Do you believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious.
Sure, and next you'll be telling me you don't remember Hank and your little sister.
Okay, let's go down through the list here.
Also, interestingly, we can try, I guess, a random word.
That's true. Why don't you ask her some questions? Well, we'll go through the list.
When did I graduate?
4 months ago, as if you could forget that.
What college?
College? A high school diploma is all you need to get a job. And besides, you can't marry Stephanie if you're going to waste your time going to college.
Wow.
18 years old and you're just
What?
now getting your
I
first
was
job.
wondering where our
It's
lap
a disgrace,
was.
but...
Oh, I got that, yeah.
I guess we can thank Stephanie for that.
Yeah, that'll make this game oddly less creepy, I suppose.
And just who is Stephanie?
Don't you dare toy with that sweet girl. If you start in on her with all this amnesia poop, She'll think her fiancé is having second thoughts about the
Whoa,
wedding.
Mom, watch your mouth. Poop.
Look, all this talk about weddings is nuts. I'm not marrying anybody till I figure out what's going on here.
First the heartbreak of psoriasis, and now this. 2 weeks before the wedding and you're backing out. Whatever will the neighbors think?
I can't marry someone I don't even know.
Fine, have it your way, but leave me out of it. If you're going to break Stephanie's heart, you march right next door and do it yourself. And don't expect me to write you a note.
Okay.
Fiancé? This is insane.
Oh, you're not having second thoughts about marrying Stephanie? Is that what this silliness is all about? Pre-wedding jitters?
Can something like that produce amnesia?
Stop this foolishness right now and count your blessings. Stephanie is great at cooking and cleaning.
Cooking and cleaning.
What's cooking and cleaning got to do with anything?
Honestly, boys are so dense. What else is there for a wife but cooking and cleaning? You may not appreciate a hot meal on a clean plate when it's there, but if it wasn't, we'd hear about it soon enough, I'll bet.
You're saying that's all there is to marriage? Cooking and cleaning?
Well, you'll have to ask your father about that, but I'm sure Stephanie will do her duty when the time
Yeah,
comes.
Michael says you sounds like you've been inserted into like a 1950s TV show.
I have.
What's the duty and who's your father? Look at all these questions we get to ask. Pick one.
My father.
He's in the other room. He decided to sleep in today. Now please let me get back to my cookies.
The bake sale is on Friday, and yet you're baking the cookies now.
Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
But they'll be stale by then.
That's why I'm throwing them away.
And then cooking more?
To replace the ones I throw out.
Why?
Well, I have to. No one's going to pay to eat stale cookies out of the garbage can.
But you expect me to.
Of course not, Steve. I wouldn't charge you. I'm your mother. Help yourself.
What? This is great. I'm
Is
loving
this what
this.
having a stroke feels like? Because because she's saying words. I understand the words. The words make no sense in context.
There's a can opener. I'm sure you're going to find a use for that soon enough.
What charity is this bake sale supposed to benefit?
It'll help provide a fund for bums and hobos who wander into harvest and have no family ties.
Kind of a specific target group, isn't it?
You have to pay attention to detail when dealing with such people.
I don't know what you mean.
You will. The whole thing has been organized by the lodge.
Tell me more about this bake sale. Why is it so important?
As I told you, many unfortunates who come to harvest end up needing
Push that
financial
glass
help.
back a bit.
Why is that the town's problem?
It's not a problem, so long as those folks are taken care of. It's the will of the lodge.
Uh-oh. You're about to find out a lot of things you don't want to know.
Yeah. Also, can we take a moment to sidetrack for just something
Yeah.
something I just thought of? He's graduated high school
Yes.
and getting married, meaning he's at least 18.
Yes.
Probably not much older than 18, but at least 18.
Apparently.
One younger brother. Okay, whatever. And what looks to be a maybe not newborn sister, but very young sister. It's like, what is up with that age gap?
I don't know. Also, the sister is also, if you look, her legs are... She's much taller than the crib she's in.
True. That too.
So this is also a very giant baby that you have to deal with. Let's ask about the lodge and the will of the lodge. And also, thank you, Gigafist. He said if you need to look at something, you right-click on it, and if you can, you can...
Okay,
Yeah.
so we were doing it right. We
lodge?
just can't look
The
at it.
Hall of
Yeah.
the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve. It's just the finest place in Harvest, and the most exclusive.
What's so great about it?
Hard to say, since hardly anyone gets inside. But it wouldn't be so exclusive if it wasn't just wonderful. Just like the new Reynolds dishwasher with their patented auto-dry process, TM. I never used one, but I know I want it.
Oh,
Instead of
That's
sulking around
great.
the house all day, why not walk over to the lodge and apply for membership?
Why not? I'll go look into it.
That's wonderful, Steve. If you got into the lodge, you'd be the talk of Harvest. Harvest is a town unlike any you've ever known.
In what way?
I don't have time to go into it now. Why not take a walk around town and pester someone else? I'm busy.
Do you want to ask her anything in particular?
There was the duty question we never got into.
Bless your innocence, but there are certain disgusting truths that go along with marriage. Facts that can't be disguised by sheets which wrap around the contours of flexing go-go's and bouncing legs. You can't know what I'm talking about, and that's best. When the time comes to make a baby with Stephanie, you'll have to make your peace with the fact that when a farmer plants his seed, he can't help but get some nasty dirt on his hoe.
This is great!
I knew exactly what they were getting into, but somehow I feel worse for having heard that answer.
Oh, this is great. Ask about sister.
Oops.
Sister?
Shh, you'll wake her. I just put her down to sleep. If she wakes up, she'll just want to eat again. Darn it, I'm busy, and if you think I'm going to play along with this nonsense, you're crazier than Sparky down at the firehouse.
Fine. Maybe I am crazy. I can't rule that out. Why can't you just help me a little? Is that too much to ask?
Now you've done it. Are you happy? Poor baby. There. Did your brother scare you? Let me see.
Oh.
Darn that wasp woman. She's a monster. That's what she is.
What's Wasp Woman? What's happening? I love the editing for that. That's really great. Can I ask about Wasp Woman? I want to hear this.
Wasp woman?
Tetsuya Crumb is going to hear about this. I want you to go to her house right now and give her a piece of my mind.
I don't know where she lives.
Honestly, you can't miss a house covered with paper nests. Steve, you tell her to mind her own beeswax, or by golly, I'll take it up with the PTA. Or the lodge.
The PTA? What do they have to do with this?
What's the PTA got to do with anything?
Exactly.
Show some respect, Steve. The PTA has a lot of clout in Harvest. We run the charity bake sale, the annual blood drive, and by gosh, we even have ties to the lodge.
You want to ask about the annual blood drive, Nick?
No, but I'm going to anyways.
Annual blood drive, huh?
If you knew how much blood we get, you'd be more impressed. Donations are mandatory, Steve. If you're
That's
still here come Sunday,
not-
you'll be expected to give.
Until it hurts, I suppose.
Until it hurts. Even Hank will have to donate. Of course, lodge members are exempt. Remember that.
Hey, either way, no one's sticking me with a needle.
We don't use needles.
All right. Well, let's leave this lady alone. Yeah.
Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Do you want to grab yourself a stale cookie from the garbage can? Fireman Sparky Super Foamy Fire Extinguisher. Super foamy. These cookies are hot out of the oven. I'd say get the garbage can cookies.
Oh, wait, too far.
Well, you have to move the mouse down a bit.
I was trying to get him out of...
Move the
Nope.
mouse up a bit on top. No. Okay. What about the cabinets? No. What about the one in the corner there? Oh, nice. No. What about the can opener in the corner? Nope. Try that cabinet there in the corner there.
This one?
No. Corner of the screen.
This one?
Yeah.
smells of dirty diapers.
Oh. Now I see. Well, putting dirty diapers in a cabinet is not the most unheard of thing, even though it's most disgusting. People are pretty nasty people, if you don't know that.
Okay, I think...
Then I direct you to watch some Hoarders episodes. Pretty disgusting. Anyway. Is this a vampire town? We don't know. We have no idea what's happening. No Needle's much more sanitary. Everyone's saying go into the closet. But you can't, because you tried that. It didn't work. You're going to wake your dad up? Oh, it's firmly locked. There's a crack in the ceiling. I wouldn't talk to this asshole. Let's go outside and punch some shit.
Yeah.
Time to punch. How do you save your game?
Ooh, that's a
escape?
good...
Is it escape? There we go. Yeah, let's save game. This save game scream is amazing.
This is not helping me with the number of questions. I guess we'll save it in game 1.
Hoarders suck for first-hand experience. I don't doubt that. And maintenance is also one of those. Yeah, let's talk to this asshole. High voltage power lines bathe your home in a wholesome, old-fashioned electromagnetic field. You feel their humming in your dreams. Don't you have those in Illyria, though?
I mean, yes.
You don't feel the humming in your dreams?
I don't live near the high tension lines.
You're not lucky, I guess. Talk to this asshole. Look at him sitting here with his little bag.
Hey, Steve, I'm Jimmy James. Remember me?
I guess not.
Hey, how come you haven't been putting the paper out for me in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, try to remember, will ya? How'd you expect a working Joe to make an honest living? You don't put the paper out, I'm out of a job.
So what? You don't get paid for picking up papers anyway.
The Sentinel building burnt down. What the heck else am I supposed to do? Listen, start putting that paper out and everything will be Jake, okay? That's all I want. That and a pair of sneakers. Walking this route every day has worn holes in mine. Say, you got any spare sneakers?
Nope.
Oh, gee whiz. Look, if you find any, I'd be willing to trade you for them. Something really neato. Think about it. See you later, alligator.
I will give him that newspaper you picked up. Fortunately for him, we have one. Yeah, not punch. Although I know you want to punch this little shit. Right click?
Hey, Steve. You've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it?
Not at all. See you later, dickhead. It's full of junk mail, bills, and bake sale flyers. Look at that air conditioning. An army surplus air conditioner. Good old 1950s.
I mean, I know air conditioners were a thing by the 50s. I didn't think they were an army surplus thing, though.
Oh my god, it's the paperboy from the movie Better Off Dead. Steel barbs wench signals from the naked air. I mean, that's a good way to explain what an antenna is. The Dayglow Lima space disk stuck on the roof.
Are you pronouncing it Lima?
What are you going to... I said Lima.
Yeah. I always pronounce it Lima because that's how the Lima, Ohio is pronounced.
It's military.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's like a Lima, Peru that's like...
Yeah, I think Lima, Ohio is pronounced Lima, but in general it's pronounced Lima. Oh man, listen to this. The sound of calm. This looks dangerous. There's a missile base? Nice. Always nice to know that there's a local bit.
Barber shop, general
Hey,
store.
thanks, Gilly Monster, for
Our house.
courtesy.
the high tension lines apparently run into the lodge.
Of course they do.
So either they are doing something fantastically weird and using up a lot of power, or are they doing something fantastically weird and generating a lot of power?
This town isn't weird, Nick. You're not used to it, is all.
Mortuary, cemetery.
An abandoned house. That's the Johnson residence.
I think that's our girlfriend's, isn't it?
Yeah.
She
Fire.
said something around rocking next door.
Police. The newspaper building, which is down. He did say it burned down. TV station. The Guyan Memorial School. Meat plant. Good old meat plant. Where do you want to go first? You want to go to a corner store? You want to go to a fire station? What's your deal?
I don't know. I know the lodge is where we would, in theory.
Well, I would say go visit your girlfriend.
True. Maybe she'll be more understanding.
No, there's a guy sitting out on his driveway. During the day, Mr. Johnson keeps watch over his precious 48 Tucker.
Is that one of those triple headlight things?
You know, he doesn't have to keep watch it if he just parked it in his fucking garage back there. I just heard the sound of a arrow hitting a tree. All right, let's talk to this strange man sitting in the driveway. I know you want to.
I guess we gotta.
Mr. Johnson erected an impenetrable fortress to protect his Tucker during the night.
Okay, so literally he brings it out during the day, watches it, and then puts it away at night.
I mean, what else do you do with your car, Nick? You just leave it in the garage?
No,
like a savage?
Because we don't have room in our garage for...
That's fair. Your driveway is also really tiny.
But anyways.
The lodge is smelting aluminum. Totally normal for a lodge.
Hello, Steve. How's the husband-to-be?
Other than having no memory, I guess I'm all right.
All right. You should be ecstatic, considering what you're getting into, if you haven't gotten into it already. Speaking of which, I heard Stephanie was grounded. Her daddy's worried about getting his meat. So if I were him, I'd be more concerned about Stephanie getting some meat.
Right. And you
yeah,
are...
What the fuck?
You always were a kidder, Steve. I'm Mr. Johnson, remember? Glad you stopped by. Just got finished waxing the Tucker. I could use a little relaxation. But since Edna's not here, I might as well talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah, the 48
I'm going to be perfectly honest here. If this was me in an actual, like, if tomorrow somehow I woke up with no memory in this town, I don't care. I am picking the nearest road that gets out of town, and I will start walking if I have to. This makes zero sense. Is deeply concerning. And obviously nobody cares about mental health. Or physical health for that matter, because amnesia is, you know, kind of a problem.
Heck of an automobile, isn't she? Damn shame I have to sit out here and watch over her all the time. But if I didn't, those stupid kids might scratch her up playing ball.
If that's a real Tucker, I can understand your concern.
Hell yes, it's real. I wouldn't be so protective of her if she was just a reproduction. I'm mighty particular about my Tucker. I had the garage remodeled like a fortress, so I could lock her up at night and get some sleep.
I'm sure she's safe enough inside.
A few months back, someone broke into my house, trying to get into the garage. I had to gripe like hell before the sheriff agreed to start the evening patrols and instigate the curfew.
Wow. Yeah.
So apparently a Tucker 48 is an actual thing. Or
yeah, that's what Deputy pointed out. And also the third middle headlight is on a gimbal, is directional with the steering wheel.
I think I've heard of these things before.
Evil is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Edna Fitzpatrick is one of the snootiest women in town. I declare there isn't a woman in Harvest that turned me away. If I was interested, that is. Just because she owns DNAs, she's got all these highfalutin ideas about independence. And her with a little girl to raise. That child needs a father. And Edna, well, she needs a good hard penis.
This is the best game I've ever seen.
Karen's only 5 years old. Since Mr. Fitzpatrick passed away, in Edna's arms and legs, I might add, Edna's been raising Karen on her own. What a shame. To deprive a little girl of a positive male role model, and her mama of a fine, stiff penis.
Nope. Nope.
No, ask him about this penis. Obviously, we need to know.
What makes you so sure she needs a penis?
You saying Edna's getting it from someone else? Like maybe that damn Sheriff Dwayne?
Dwayne. That's a perfect name.
Every day from noon to 1, eating his dadgum pie. And I got a feeling he'd like Edna for dessert. Sure, it's the only diner in town, but I'm sure he's got more on his mind than food.
Wow.
Have I mentioned that I'm getting to the nearest road out of town and walking if necessary?
I agree with you. What about Edna's Diner?
I'll admit DNA's Diner does good business. But money isn't everything to a woman. Can money keep you warm at night? Can you wrap your thighs around it? Or rake bloody gashes in its back with your painted hollowed fingernails? Edna! Edna! So, how's Stephanie?
This man is completely stable.
You know what?
Speaking of Stephanie, I still haven't gotten an invitation to the wedding yet.
I don't have anything to do with that.
Your
That's
guy is
okay.
so defeated.
Personally, I'd prefer a pass to the honeymoon.
What?
You could use the back seat of my Tucker for the maiden voyage. It's plenty big. Believe you me. I'd drive you around. And I wouldn't look in the back seat. I guarantee it. Though if you'd like to come up front and take the wheel a while, I wouldn't say nay.
Okay, let's leave.
Yeah. Let's.
Bye now.
So this wasn't her house. Note to self, when I get older, remember to say weird stuff. I think this has gotten...
Same in the garage.
I think we broke the hamometer. What about that abandoned house? It's abandoned, so you don't have to talk to anybody about weird stuff, Nick. You'll be just fine.
One would only help.
Oh, this must be the house with all the weird... This must be the wasp lady's house. An old car is the perfect meeting place for wasps or something.
I think nesting.
That's true. I had found that out when I was a kid. The attic window is a perfect nesting ground for wasps. When I was a kid, I went in this old Honda, and I was pretending to drive it, and I didn't know there were wasps all on the inside of the car. I'm like, look at these weird flies. Until one of them stung me, and I learned my lesson. I was really young. I didn't know what a wasp was. Oh, look, this lady. See, this must be the lady. The icebox is sealed shut with wasp nests. From the sound of it, these cabinets are infested with wasps. A rather colorful picture of a wasp. You don't have anything to worry about. It's just wasps, Nick. I wouldn't walk over there. It's a wasp nest. Let's see what she has to say.
It's not often that I get visitors.
Nice.
Are
headband.
you the wasp woman?
I am Tetsuo Crumb. The ignorant of harvest call me the wasp woman. A pejorative, no doubt. Born of fear and a poverty of imagination.
This is how we get space bees.
I don't understand.
The politics of honey, the Judeo-Christian rites of sacrifice and conventional taboos against unbridled pleasure are all responsible for the prejudice against wasps.
There you go. That explains so much. Always wondered that.
The politics of honey are intertwined with the age-old struggle of the aesthetic versus the commercial. Because I choose to raise wasps instead of bees, I'm frowned upon by the community. Why? Well, raising bees is acceptable because they produce honey. But sometimes it's not what is produced, so much as what is performed.
I don't see any particular use for wasps.
Why must everything have a use? Is money always the determining factor? More slender, more aerodynamic than the bee,
Oh no.
the wasp is a joy to behold.
That's
That
important.
seemed important, yeah.
And juicy. Isn't that enough to compensate for the little drawbacks? Well, as you can see, the little darlings do love to sting. Another source of prejudice for the masses, and another reason to love them. Bees are like animals. They sting only for a reason, for sacrifice.
That house is filled
They
with
have
ouch.
no conception of individual
Yeah.
sensation, of pleasure.
Oh, yeah, I think she's totally sleeping with her wasps. Let's hear about this. I don't want to hear... Whoa.
Yes, a great deal of pleasure. The wasp is a sensual being, not a laborer, hedonistic instead of industrial. Some think them quick to anger. In truth, they are easily swayed to ecstasy. They penetrate your flesh, and the muscular contractions in their thorax as they pump venom could be likened to the muscular contractions of ejaculation. Each painful welt, an act of love.
I feel like we walked into something amazing here, and it's happening in front of us, and I'm enjoying every second of it. Nick, Nick is broken. I think Nick is reaching his threshold. Lady ain't got the D in a while. That's a very good point. Saw that one coming. Oh man, this is great. Let's hear more about sacrifice.
When a bee stings, it rips itself apart and dies for its audacity. This appeals to those raised worshipping a god that demands sacrifice and atonement. But the wasp is promiscuous. They are not as sympathetic to the masses because they don't die when they sting. They live to sting another day, and they take pleasure from it.
Okay. Well, we didn't learn anything useful here, so I think... Oh, what are you going to ask her, Nick?
Well,
A triviality.
okay.
Yeah. Indeed. What's that? Is that like a little orange thing in the corner there, or is that... You see it like on the counter? It's like in the corner. No, can't click on it. Okay. Is there anything in the oven? No. All right.
No.
Just
nothing.
more. You open it like, oh look, wasps! How? What a surprise! Let's leave this house. This lady is just an episode of Hoarders waiting to happen.
She's a something waiting to happen. I don't know what.
Yeah, I like that this is what your mind is like right now. You're like, why? She gets the S instead. WASP, also an acronym. Let's go to the general store. I don't think there's anything wrong with the general store. I think that's probably going to be the most normal place in town, Nick.
Probably.
The Wayward Hotel. Wait, there's another house up north. Bottom right. Or is that just the cemetery?
That's the mortuary.
Oh, got it.
I honestly, at this point, I'm thinking the cemetery might be the most sane place here because at least everything there is already dead.
Let's find out. Click the cemetery button. Let's see what happens. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Yep, you're right. Let's take a look at some of these tombstones. The air here reeks of fresh soil and manure. Of course, thunderstorm. The scripture on this headstone has faded beyond legibility. Get your punching hand ready, Nick. You're gonna probably have to punch some stuff. Oh look, a little picnic table. Yet another resting place amongst the graves.
I mean, that was a thing for a while.
Yeah, I remember as a kid I'd go to a cemetery and I always thought it was weird there was a picnic table there. I also got yelled at for running through a great cemetery, but that's fine. The Potsdam family crypt. Can you open the door?
No, the doors have been sealed shut. Although they're made out of marble, ?
Green marble. I mean, it's possible.
I'm not even talking about the color, like just the fact that you would make doors out of marble. Like,
that's the lodge in the background. Yeah. Why are they fertilizing the graveyard?
well, you gotta get grass to grow when you dig up a grave.
It's true. Yes, often used in historical papers on the... What was that?
Apparently me running into a border.
Alright. Well, you found out what you needed to find out, that there's absolutely nothing here. Now it's perfectly safe.
I'm sure we won't have to come back here at night at all.
Green marble
or break
is
into
expensive.
the crypt at night for any reason. Like, I can't see why that would possibly be a thing.
There's a drill sergeant buried there. Former recruits came to fertilize, as the old jokes go.
Okay.
All right. Well, the cemetery was quiet. Let's visit the mortuary. Maybe they can do you a service. Professionally kept landscape. A hideous symbol stands out like a swastika or a flattened spider.
It's landscape. Window.
A large translucent window. Let's go into there and listen to this band music that's picking up. Step inside the building. No, just buzzing. These votive candles have been lit by well-wishers for the dead, or well-wisher with a lot of matches.
And you were right the first time. It's usually pronounced votive.
A schedule of this week's funerary events. Anything in that cabinet? No. Any quarters in the couch? A pair of comfortable-looking sofas. What about the coat rack? An empty coat tree. Why don't you look... Yeah, there's a door. Let's go in there. Oh, let's look at the ledger. Those dear to us have passed recently. Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe.
Wait, pick up the ledger. Interesting.
You might need that later. Yeah, right click on it. No.
Okay.
You do have a health bar, so
Yeah,
it
and
hasn't been come into play yet.
I think that's the nighttime.
Oh, look, he's got a
thing?
top hat. A disembodied organ which was never meant to pump formaldehyde.
Which implies that it's still beating.
These organic things floating in formaldehyde in these jars. The sort of things that make you want to look away before you really see what they are, but your eyes don't oblige. The fans whirring blades barely stir the stench-laden air. What's that thing on the top there? Is that a clock? Oh.
Temperature gauge.
The needle line's on 33 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's pretty cold in this room.
You know, preservation.
A pair of bloody handprints are smeared across the glass.
Concerning?
A very nasty-looking sink.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oops, he spilled.
Something?
On the counter sits a new tube of astroglue. Yeah, pick that
You
up.
can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work. And may I say you're a rude young man for attempting to steal it.
I was only gonna borrow it.
Indeed. And have you anything I could hold as security?
Security. Like what? Money?
I'm afraid that's not good enough. I need that glue for my work. You must present me with something significant if you'd have me part with it.
Okay, well, let's talk to this Vincent Price sounding dude.
I guess.
I'm sure he's got something nice to say. Oh, let's... The messy remains of some poor soul.
Stephen,
Who are you?
I am Daniel Moynihan, mortician and proprietor of the Wayward Hotel.
Most people ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Besides, as one who deals with the dead, I try not to involve myself in the
An
affairs of
excellent
the living. Your loss of memory is of no concern to me, true or false. Ironic, considering my recent involvement in a charity event.
What are you talking about?
My complaints were central to the scheduling of the upcoming Harvest Bake Sale. I'm gratified the Order of the Harvest Moon got involved. The proceeds will certainly help cover my losses.
Okay.
Um,
What is the Order of the Harvest Moon?
This bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
Then the Order is setting up shelters for the homeless?
Not shelters. Graves. You see a great number of these hobos die while passing through. Don't ask me why, it's what those people do. Use your common sense, Stephen, memory or no. If they were involved in setting up homeless shelters, then why would I be involved? And why would I be sustaining losses?
Wow. By mood
As
indeed.
always, the Order of the Harvest Moon has taken the lead in addressing our societal ills. Through their sponsorship of the blood drive and the bake sale, the lodge ensures that all our needs are met.
Needs. Such as...
Pardon me, there are corpses to prepare, and my losses have been substantial of late. If you're sincerely interested in the Order, however, you should stop by the lodge and speak with the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Why should I be interested, Mr. Moynihan?
Of all the spots in Harvest, the lodge is the most prominent, literally and figuratively. It is the ambition of everyone here to join, and join you must to attain wisdom.
What kind of wisdom?
If I knew, I'd be a member. I have the feeling you have what it takes to join the Order, Stephen. We all believe that. Whether or not you live up to your potential is up to you.
All right. Well, then, let's go visit the fucking...
It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to Harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them. Yes, I prepare them. I use this astro glue to close my autopsy incision rather than sutures. It's much faster, more efficient. Of course, it only holds for a short while, but once they're in the ground, who cares if they split open? They will anyway. The pressure of the gases and the worms pressing outward, rupturing the cavity open. So why bother with fancy needlework?
A cold-blooded approach.
But what of my losses? Do you realize if it weren't for the efforts of the Order of the Harvest Moon, the bake sale and so forth, even with the Wayward Hotel, I'd be hard-pressed to stay in business?
You know what? Yeah, that's it.
As owner of the only hotel in town, I do my best to accommodate any hobo who straggles into town, vacancies permitting. Thank you. As yet another pilgrim who aspires to join the Order of the Harvest Moon, I do what I can to support their agenda.
And what agenda is that?
None of your concern, young man. Unless you decide to join them.
Yeah, Goblin also suggests that we save often.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. We will.
I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
Yeah, this guy seems to be the most sensible person that we've met so far.
Which, granted, isn't saying a whole lot, but
No.
at the same time, I'll take
Save a game.
sanity where I can get it.
Escape.
Yeah.
Duct tape. I bet you can get a lot more bang for your buck on duct tape. Yeah, you're right. Why close them up at all? Just drape a shirt over the hole and hope Granny doesn't press too hard. Rows and rows of empty wooden pews, caked with the dust of indifference.
So one, that implies that one, he's not dusting, which he seems like he's a busy guy. Two, that also implies that no one ever comes for the funerals.
Not surprising. The guy's got to watch his Tucker after all. Yeah, step forward. The light from the candelabra gleams unwholesomely pink, like the eyes of a horde of rats balancing on thin wires. Interesting words there. A small lectern for a priest. The imprint of a head, buttocks, and sliding heels are scraped into the thick dust of the pew. The buttocks.
Okay.
The brass candelabra holds several strange-smelling candles. They went to Bed Bath & Beyond for their candelabras. Is that a bullwhip? The empty vessel of the dead. An, not a thee. A saint kneels before a shepherd, jubilantly terrified. A hauntingly beautiful stained glass window in which a man holds a scythe in one hand and some ethereal power in the other. Maybe you should just climb inside. No.
Yeah, it's not.
Flex tape. Look, I saved this person from half. So I saw this person in half. That's a lot of damage. So what's the difference between dust of indifference and the dust of sorrow? I've never been able to tell. Yeah, okay. Mom forgot to put the bullwhip back in the closet. Yeah, somebody's got to believe in him at some point. Otherwise, everyone's going to be like, oh, shut up, Steve. Nobody cares about your amnesia. Let's go to the lodge. I'd say
go to the lodge first?
Yeah, let's go to the lodge. We've been avoiding it. Oh, there we go. The save scream is amazing. Red eyes gleam with eerie malevolence from the darkness.
Good to know, good to know.
The masonry looks as though it may have been from the Dark Ages. It looks as ancient as the building itself. There's green goo. Alarming green sludge oozes from the drain.
Only initiates may enter the hall of the Order of the Harvest Moon.
Do you need a lozenge?
Say something?
I did not speak, but my mind touched yours.
Telepathy? But how?
Only those who seek enlightenment warrant my attention. Do you hunger for true knowledge?
Yeah.
Yes.
There are always obstacles to the path. You must first fill out an application to be considered for initiation into the mysteries.
Yeah.
Applications are available at the post office. Postmaster Boyle disseminates them to the uninitiated. I do not sully my hands.
Wow.
Then I just fill it out and return it to you, or what?
You may find it difficult to obtain an application. You will no doubt need to find some way to persuade Postmaster Boyle to give you one in the middle of the month, as it is against his rules. When you do, however, bring it to me. And if you are worthy, you will be put to the test.
So we need to go to the post office to fill out an application so that way we can get into the creepy castle building?
Yes, we did.
All right, let's go do it. Let's go fill out an application so we can join this creepy, weird thing. Although I'm glad that we're picking all the choices that are like, yeah, sure, why not? Instead of like, what the fuck? Air conditioned. He's too busy working to notice you. Tape and broken glass. Obviously a professional break-in.
That's unfortunate.
The neon letters drone relentlessly, eternally frozen at 4:05. A tired air conditioner wheezes in the unseasonal heat. Yum! Cream asparagus tips, 2 for 49 cents. Harvest bake sale this Friday in the school gym. That's not the post office, though. That's the general store.
Yeah, I know.
A shoddy old TV missing the VHF knob.
I can see fetch quests in our future.
An old 16mm projector with Guyan Memorial stencil on it. An empty barrel reeks of rotting meat. A barrel of meat! Dead roaches and bits of acrid grit coat the water cooler's bone-dry reservoir. The new and improved Succulux Super Suck Vacuum Cleaner. It really sucks. Free copies made here, so if you need to make a copy. The shelf contains a variety of odd items for sale.
Okay, well...
Can I help you, dear?
Who are you?
This is Phelps General Store, so who would that make me? Maybe you need to go back to Geen Memorial and have Miss Whaley teach you
Geen.
about logic.
I'm fuzzy on a lot of things these days. My memory's gone.
Pshaw, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious, I need some help.
Well, they say a sharp blow to the head is a good thing for amnesia. In which case, I'd recommend Miss Whaley again. Then again, they say a good scare can jog the memory. In which case, I'd advise you to visit the Sergeant at Arms over at the lodge. That man gives me the willies. Speaking of willies, how's your father?
Don't know. Haven't seen him.
Care to buy anything today?
Yeah. You have 25 cents. Let's see what you...
Just point to whatever you want. I'm a little hard of hearing.
Yeah, operate the shelf. It's an adult magazine. There's a wrench. Soup cans.
Soup cans with
Well,
a skull and crossbone on them, which is highly concerning.
not really.
Wrench.
Let's examine the soup cans. What does it say? A cans of soup, or possibly rat poison? Nah. This store is owned and operated by Randolph P. Checkers. A cow is bleeding a robust coffee on these Harvest Blend coffee can labels. Wow. A slightly used wrench. You must pay Mrs. Phelps before you can buy anything. An adult magazine for 25 cents. You must pay Mrs. Phelps before you can buy anything. So we can see that. Oh, and there's some tape there. Black electrical tape. Nice. And then is that a cigarette? No, can't. All right. Now at least we know where we can get stuff we need to. I wouldn't buy anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave the store at this point. That's all right, Raging Goblin. It's fine. Post office is to the south.
Yes.
41% off packing peanuts, assorted colors. There's a sign in the window.
Have you ever seen packing peanuts in a color other than white?
They come in like pink sometimes and green.
True. You know what? I'm gonna save this.
I like that there's like a high school band just practicing in the distance. Check out that sign in the window. No. Alright. An old glory flag. Looks like Mr. Pastorelli forgot to put out the paper for Jimmy.
Well then.
Hey, we ain't gonna have any more problems if you put out the paper there, Steve. A crushed paper cut with smudged lipstick on it.
Nope, can't take it.
Alright, well let's go in there and fill us out an application.
I don't know, that's just walking.
A zip code map with Harvest Dead Center. 3 clocks, 3 times. Bake sale, bake sale.
Oops, nope.
This game is very random. A blind woman is trying to read her mail.
Okay.
These mailboxes seem hardly used.
Well, I guess...
Yes?
I need some help. Mr.
Postmaster Boyle, what can I do for you today?
I need a lodge application.
Sorry, youngster, we're out of applications right now.
Come on, you must have one around here somewhere.
Well, I do have the master, but you can't write on that. And I only make copies once a month, on the button, regular as clockwork. It's not the effort, son. It's the principle. We must adhere to our standards. They're all that stand between civilization and chaos. I'm sorry, you'll just have to come back in a month, same as anyone else. And even then, I can't guarantee you'll get an application. The line is always long, and there are never enough to go around.
It's very important that I get in quickly.
That's what they all say. Postmaster Boyle, I'll just die if I don't get into the lodge. I can't make an exception, young man. It just wouldn't be right. Don't mumble, son. Can't understand you.
I was wondering if we could, like, imply that, hey, what if we went and made some copies for you?
Copy?
Don't mumble, son.
Yeah.
Can't I?
Okay, well.
Next time you post, don't forget the zip code.
Alright, let's see what else we can see in this building.
I mean, is there anything else we can look at?
Anything on the register? Anything behind them? That's you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to fuck you up, old man. I thought it was firearms that stood between civilization and chaos, or at least ponies. Maybe it was ponies. Topical zip codes had just been introduced. Yep. I like how they just put these like dead silent, like buzzing noises.
It's very strange.
Let's go look around other buildings in town that we haven't been to yet.
Okay, so we've got a barber shop. We've got a missile base. More missile base. Meat plant. School, TV station. Police station, fire station, newspaper building, diner.
I would say maybe go to the missile base next.
Okay.
There's only half a man there. Look at all those missiles, though, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Don't they usually bury those things?
Apparently not here. It's a B-17. These aircraft appear to be well maintained. Jet sounds for a B-17. Classic. Oddly enough, this guard booth isn't the only building on the base. He's probably got his finger on the button. An electrified chain link fence surrounds the base. The base is well stocked with missiles, nuclear missiles.
Oh, who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
All right, this is Section 21. Keep your distance, son. I wouldn't want to have to blow your head off.
That makes two of us.
So you're the amnesiac, huh? Just another draft-dodging ploy the way I see it. But at least you're not an alien. You see their ships every now and then. Sometimes swell bags one in the woods.
Who are you?
Colonel Buster Monroe, commander of the Harvest Nuclear Missile Installation, keeping America safe from those that would dye a flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Goddamn right they are. Every one of them ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is hit the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
This guy's awesome.
I suppose you have, you know, safeguards against accidents?
Safeguards? Don't be such a weak sister. There are no safeguards. This is the 50s.
Then you have sole control of the,
That's great.
missiles.
That's right. Been in charge here since WW2, when I got my lower torso shot off in the war. Those panty-waists in Washington wanted to stick me behind a desk. To hell with that. They owed me. I left my legs in Dusseldorf. They owed me. Of course, they felt that after the trauma of having to crawl from Germany to England trailing my intestines behind me, I was too emotionally unstable to continue in the military. That's why they gave me this nice cushy job and put me in charge of the nuclear missiles.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Oh, man. Dude, a full-bird colonel at the gate? There must be a stack of NCOs behind the shed who fucked up real bad to make that happen. Yup. You know it.
Why are you asking about the button, son?
I'm just a little nervous about it. I mean, suppose an accident happens.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, mister. The button is perfectly safe. I keep it on my person all the time.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
No commie bastard
Wow.
is getting his mitts on this button. No siree, bomb. No one initiates a nuclear holocaust in Harvest except me. Now, doesn't that make you feel better?
No, it doesn't.
Son, when you've had your body shot in half, you know a thing or two about fear. You learn that when something actually happens, it's never as bad as you imagine it would be. Oh, sure, I can't write my name in the snow. I had to shell out a few simoleons for portable IV drips, colostomy bags, and so on. The pain is hardly what I'd call constant. I have my good days when I pass out completely. We're never asked to endure more than we're capable of handling, mister. Folks would die in a nuclear holocaust, but nobody would die who wasn't going to die anyway, sooner or later.
Wow.
The rest of us? Why, we'd take a little R&R at the old radiation bunker, climb out in 2 weeks, and go back to work, refreshed and ready to contribute as productive members of society. Makes me wonder why I don't just push the button and take me a nice vacation. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't?
Yeah.
You're right, soldier. I'm sorry. Sometimes the intense pain clouds my mind. The kookaburras start whispering to me about the pretty mangoes and the high trees, and I know they can see me. They see all of us. Can't you hear them? Chattering with the llamas behind our backs? They want our cornflakes, but they won't take the milk! Have you lost your mind? You think you can toy with me just because I have no lower torso, you damn kid, you? Or maybe you're one of those commie bastards.
You say before you came to harvest, your lower torso was shot off in the war?
That's right. I was behind enemy lines. The night was dark. The rain wet. The plastique I was supposed to rig the bridge with, precariously sandwiched between my knees as I crawled in the muddy mud. I didn't see the Jerry taking aim at me with his machine gun until half of me was flying through the air. With a quick spray of bullets in a straight line, he'd shot my body clean in two. My lower body landed at that Jerry's feet. I can still hear him laughing as I started crawling in the general direction of England, calling behind me in broken English, "Mein Freund, where is your legs? Looky, what have we here? Some legs? Hey, did anyone lose some legs?" I'll never forget looking back over my shoulder and seeing that crowd doing the can-can with my legs.
Holy shit.
A few weeks later, with only my compass and a pair of nylons, I made it back to safety. Now the Krauts are our friends and the commie bastards are our enemies. But even so, there's at least one crowd out there that I'll never invite over to Sunday dinner.
This is a great game. I'm enjoying this.
The questions I have now are slowly working around
Dan
to
Marks, good to see you, man.
the people who made the game. And what were they smoking, drinking, or did they have like some sort of fever dream that led to
I think
this?
they predate, like they knew streaming was going to happen, and they're like, I can't wait to see what people say when they stream this.
Harvest is a fine town, steeped in traditional American values. But that lodge, well, it makes me suspicious, don't mind saying it. They've got their fingers into everything around here. Like a certain red commie bastard menace which shall be nameless. You read me wrong, mister. I think you should join the lodge, infiltrate it, and report back on any red sympathizers. Your report could affect my decision on what I've got to do.
Can you think of anything else we need to ask this gentleman?
I think you've reached the limit.
Okay.
Remember, duck and cover.
I love it.
Well, you know what? Since we're looking here, let's talk to the barber shop. You know what? Let's save.
Oh, look, barbershop. What could go wrong in here? That's Mr. Swell, Mr. Passarelli. A sheep. Left click? No? Except for its occasional hairball cough, it's hard to tell if the sheep is alive or not. Yes. You having trouble clicking on stuff?
Yes.
Click a couple times. I think it's just that area. Click a couple times with the left mouse button. The dangling television is sure to cause a neck strain at this angle. Just left clicks. You just gotta click a bunch of times until it comes up. Colonel Buster Monroe flipping the bird from his B-17 cockpit. Wow. A picture of Mr. Pastorelli as a young buck. I guess the only thing you can do is talk to the man. That's just walking, yeah.
So who do you want to talk to? Mr. Pastorelli?
Yeah, I would talk to him
Mr.
first.
Swell or Mr. Parsons?
Let's go, Mr. Pastorelli. You have to tap a couple times because it sounds like there's some kind of glitch. Mr. Pastorelli doesn't respond, not understanding English.
Okay.
Let's talk to Mr. Swell.
Howdy, Steve.
Yeah. Howdy back, Mr.
Pete Swell, Steve. Don't you pull my old leg now. Change your mind about that aluminum siding?
What are you talking about?
I really think you should talk your father into buying some. He can afford it. And I can't stress enough the value of some really fine aluminum siding. Keeps it warm in the summer, cool in the winter, and it keeps out the shit. Pastorelli ought to look into some, but I can't get him to understand a word I say. Can't understand why Pastorelli keeps that nasty thing in here. Must remind him of the pastures in Italy. Kinda like why I keep wrenches under my pillow, so as I can dream about plumbing.
There you go.
Pastorelli's a rube from way back. Ask Clem Parsons how he followed up with the alarm system in here. I'm a plumber. I could fix it for him, but he just won't listen. Well, I seen the end coming for the aluminum siding game, so I took a mail course and learned how to be a plumber. Now, there's a business that never lets up. You'd be surprised what people flush down the toilet.
Not really.
I guess that's, unless you want to ask him something else.
Stop funning around now.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Is that how you spell aluminum?
Yeah, and then...
Steve, aluminum siding can't get a fair shake no more. Started when those firemen came to harvest, filling people's heads with newfangled notions like color coordination and interior design. You can paint aluminum, you know, if you want to. But even so, I can't seem to move it anymore. Not even to a rube like Pastorelli. Thank God for the plumbing.
All right.
Nice to see you again, Steve.
Hello there, youngster. You see them aliens I was telling you about? Well, they came back last night. Cut another crop circle in my south field.
How come I never seen none of them saucers, Clam?
Them aliens is wily, Pete. You don't cross the intergalactic void without learning a trick or two. You know what Pastorelli did? Yesterday, he gets an alarm system to protect his pole. Only he don't know how to rig it, so now it's all awry.
That alarm system seems...
Yeah.
important.
Pastorelli shelled out for an alarm system, all right, but he's too cheap to hire an electrician to hook her up. Dang idiot cross-wired it through the fire sprinkler, so now when the alarm goes off, it sets the sprinkler spraying. Tarnation! Aliens looking for intelligent life ought to stay away from this shop, sure enough. Well, son, the ways of the alien is a specialized area of woodcraft unknown to all but the wiliest sportsmen. What you gotta remember is, your average alien is smarter than your average human, so you gotta be extra careful building your blind if you want to bag one.
You hunt aliens.
Son, after nailing an alien, you can never go back to quail. What? You think you can get one of those at a swap meet? Line your blind with lead to fool their sensing machines. Lay real quiet and wait. Preferably in the woods around the nuclear base. Oh, they love messing around out there.
Why not wait outside your field, Clem? Wait for 'em to come a-carving.
Oh, they do their crop doodles with zap guns, you darn fool. Don't you know nothing? Besides, ain't no place to put the blind out in the field. You listen to Clem Parsons if you want to tag an unearthly being. They cross the void, wondering what lies beyond, all the time not knowing that what awaits them is buckshot.
Well, there you go.
Okay, then.
That's the end of that conversation. Or are you going to ask him about Pastorelli?
I don't think we have, so I'm going to.
The Pastorelli's a funny sort. Foreigner, don't you know? He cuts hair pretty good, but he don't know spit about nothing else. You just ask him to hook up an alarm system if you need convincing.
All right. What are you going to ask? Oh.
Why, that barber's pole of his is his pride and joy. Brought it all the way over from Italy, wrapped all special-like. It ain't nothing but colored glass with some bulbs stuck up in it, but he thinks it's the be-all, end-all. Installed that alarm system just to protect it. Though who in tarnation would want to steal a worthless piece of junk like that? I don't know.
Maybe them aliens, Clem.
Oh, Pete, don't be ignorant. Them aliens don't give a fig for no colored glass. You think if they can build spaceships, they can't make a dadgum barber pole? Crazy hick don't know nothing about science.
I think we're done here.
He nailed an alien and he brags about it. Are you serious? Does he know that you shouldn't brag about conquests and that notch or anything? That a notch or anything is a better way to keep track of it? I guess he's just really proud of him bagging himself an alien. I mean, thinking about how these guys always talked about being probed by aliens, actually bagging one's probably something worth bragging about. All right, where?
So we got meat plant.
I'm vote meat plant.
Meat plant? Okay.
Meat plant. Oh, man, is that a cat? Can you pet the kitty? To the left. To the left, like of the screen. There's like a whole...
there's lots of cats.
Yeah. Oh, you can't. Oh, they're eating meat. Harvest Meats Incorporated. Let's go inside and say hello. Nick, why do you save the game? What's to worry about? It's a meat plant.
The whole save early, saved often thing?
Whatever's in these barrels smells extremely bad. Lots of kitties. It's a lot of blue screen kitties. Examine the splotch. Freshly cut meat. Wait, examine the splotch? Yeah. This used to be a kitty cat. What? Is he killing kitties? The carcasses of several small animals. My God.
Steve, how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
He's been away from work for weeks, and when I call your house, your mother won't let me talk to him.
I haven't seen him either.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say. Though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that amnesia hokum. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly?
Uh-oh.
Look, I'm not kidding about the amnesia. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you always were such a kidder, Steve.
Funny how that's beginning to sound like a stock answer. Like it was coached.
You sure are acting like a kidder, son. With your dad ill, you're gonna need to start behaving like an adult. Especially if you're gonna take over the family business.
Evening.
You may
Hot
come
dogs,
to realize
55
that
gallon
this business
drum.
is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach.
Oh, that's easy.
A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. but red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it. So when you can do this all day and help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it? What exactly is wrong with your dad?
I don't know.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Steve. You should be thinking about running the family business one day. That, getting into the lodge.
Oh no.
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat, only the juiciest cuts.
I feel like that was
Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining quality while cutting costs. We know what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
Yeah. You know what? Take number 1.
Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat.
Do I really want to know about cutting cost?
Let's find out.
There are certain tricks of the trade, Steve. Once your dad gets better and you start working in here cutting up the meat, you'll be privy to them. There's always cheaper, better ways to do things, if you're creative.
This is how hot dogs are made. Yeah.
Don't be such a stranger, Steve. Have my best to your dad.
All right. Time to go to the next place.
Yes. Let's go far, far, far away.
Nah, yeah, there you go.
School, TV station, diner?
Let's go to the school. It's right next door.
Okay.
Gain Memorial. Guess you just walk inside.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything else.
Gain Memorial Bake Sale this Friday. A distasteful amalgam of chewed gum, mangled love notes, broken ballpoints, oozing blue ink, and wadded Kleenex. Pretty normal for a trash can. Door's locked. A glass-protected fire alarm. These lockers are riddled with inexplicable stains and dents. Pretty normal for a school so far. The drinking fountain doesn't work. Again, very normal.
I mean, fair.
A bulletin board riddled with staples.
Fair.
Yeah. What about this guy? I'm guessing he's the principal. Yeah.
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Good, good. That's a nice part of my job. Turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harold, principal of Gain Memorial. Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time.
What about Sentinel?
I think that was the paper, wasn't it?
Boy, I sure miss the old newspaper. The sheriff never did investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaper man's instinct. Though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything.
Sheriff Dwayne.
I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station. And Mr. McKnight had an airtight alibi. Still, if not for the fire, I never would have wound up as principal of Gain Memorial.
This is like the Walmart employee orientation video come to life.
Gain Memorial. Sounds like a cemetery or a hospital, not a school.
This institution was named for a great man, whose first name escapes me. He epitomized the great potential within us all, big guy. I hear there's an honorary plaque commemorating him within the lodge. Big guy, borrowing some quality time. The greatest gift I can bestow upon you as your former principal is a word of advice. Join the Order of the Harvest Moon at any cost. Within the lodge lies your future, and without dust.
Okay. Keeps offering quality time.
Surely mine is the most important position in Harvest. The ability to mold young minds. That's power. You might think Sheriff Dwayne's the most important man here, big guy. But he only deals with my failures. When I do my job right, the sheriff never sees a thing.
Why do you keep calling me big guy?
A sign of respect, lad. As principal, my station is higher than yours now, but you never know what the future holds, so you should always hedge your bets.
Oh.
And pay tribute to your inferiors. You never know who will come to power, or who, even now, wields it behind the scenes. For all I know, you might already be a member of the Order, with access to the lodge. If that were the case, you'd be my superior, and I'd be all that much better off having shown you respect and spent some quality time with you.
Yeah, what does he keep saying that?
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the lodge.
You want to spend some quality time with me?
Nope.
No.
Drop in again soon. Adult education is a wonderful thing.
Nope.
As is adult quality time.
Oh, man. That town is wonderfully over-the-top creepy.
I've been through the Scout Protection Program enough times to know that is...
I got some popsicles in my
like
basement.
Several red flags.
Even the paper cutouts look stunned and zombified. Look at the alphabet. The children look stunned and zombified.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Okay, so it's the first bit of the alphabet. I mean, granted, it's not the whole alphabet, but...
A rough sketch of the lodge. You want to talk to the...
Yeah?
A projector carefully engineered to sound good when played underwater.
I fail to see how that's important, but I will remember that. No, that's... Nope, nothing.
You already have a pen in your pocket.
My goodness, class, this is Stephen. He used to be a student here at Gein Memorial. Say hello, class. They're reticent. The educator's greatest problem today is the apathy of the students.
What's wrong with their
heads? I can tell you in one word, Stephen. Discipline. Thank goodness you weren't a sulky bear. You were always a smiley bear.
Then you remember me?
Not as such. So many pupils, Stephen. They come and they go. But I can always spot those who were nice boys. You can tell from the forehead. The lobes. Right, class? I'm glad you stopped by, Stephen. Would you care to say a few words to the class about civic responsibility?
Not really. I was just passing through.
Oh, but you must, Stephen. A positive role model might be just the thing to inspire these little monsters. Stephen, have you any questions for me? Or shall I continue with class?
No, ma'am, I've seen enough.
Really?
Or do you want to ask some questions? Let's ask her some questions.
Ask away, then. We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin. But a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nicely.
Yes.
Oh dear. Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
Oh shit.
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
My stars, that was exciting.
Yeah. There you go. Are you gonna ask him?
Can you tell me anything about the harvest?
Harvest was founded by the Order of the Harvest Moon about 100 years ago.
For what purpose?
Why, I'm sure you'd have to ask them.
All right.
You'll find the members of the Order at the lodge.
This lodge. What do you know about it?
The building itself, like Harvest, was constructed with a specific purpose in mind. That noble intent is known only to those within the Order. You're at about the right age to join them, Stephen. And you will do so if you care about your future.
All right.
Yeah, I think you can leave now.
Stop by any time, Stephen.
Phrenology is the pseudoscience that you like measure the bumps on the skull and you predict mental traits from it.
Oh. Oh, come on. The kids are sturdy. They can take a hit or two. Ryder's right. A little baseball bat to the head never fucking hurt me. I came out just fine. They tell me you're not real, Nick, but I didn't believe them. So I made them pay. I don't like when people tell me my friends aren't real. It makes me really mad.
Where's my X? There's an exit.
Yeah. All right, we're going down the line here. Few more left. Everybody wants to get in the TV station. A silver Tucker with a yellow interior. Hey, everyone's got a Tucker in this town.
Apparently.
WHAR. The W being the television sign. Studio. There's some Indians? Too busy drinking and smoking, they ignore you. Alright, then I guess we're going inside. Either the show isn't compelling, or no one wanted to be taken out by friendly fire. You can talk to the corny western backdrop, complete with cardboard teepee. Odd, no one is operating the cameras. Well, they don't really do that anymore. A fairly primitive form of mind control. Yeah, most TV studios these days don't actually have camera operators. Most.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Riders Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve?
Yeah.
Here you go, then.
Yeah, that'd be good for your brother.
Violence? What about it? What red-blooded American doesn't? Nothing like an exploding head to get the blood pumping. Literally, that is.
Even so, do you think society pays a heavy price for the violence in the media?
Of course they pay a heavy price. Just look at the net profits. They'll line up around the block to see a good slaughter. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
All right, looks like you got your autograph that's going to probably come in handy later. Oh, here we go. Very poor reception. Strange, since the broadcast originates from here. Yeah, that's a good point.
What's a good point?
A picture of a gorgeous model signed with "Kiss My Pineapple," Red Muffy. Assortment of empty cubicles. Either McKnight loves to recall his salad days as an insurance salesman, or he can't keep his employees happy. I guess the only thing to do is to talk to man in the middle.
Yep.
Hey, sport. This is a private office.
Yeah, I know, Mr.
McKnight. I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
I've lost my memory. That's news.
The hell it is. You always were a kidder, Steve. Any real news to tell me?
Actually, I was just wanting to know more about the TV station.
Hey, WHAR is the only television station in Harvest. Since the old Sentinel went under, what with the newspaper building burning down and all, we're golden. Nobody competes with us, sport. Partners. I run the whole show solo, pal.
All right. Guess not much else to talk to him about.
Don't hurry back.
Okay, then.
Wow. Are you getting tired?
No, just stretching.
Oh. I'm having a great time. I like how the card guy is singing his mouth and singing in his other hand. Can you help me, Mike? I can't find Mr. Goatburger on the BPL.
Okay. Wait. Isn't it supposed to be...
1952? 3? Yeah, 1953.
Spring of 53.
Yeah.
And it's a 55 frag 100.
Yeah, that is odd. That's probably the oddest thing we've seen in this whole game.
Okay.
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, most normal conversation so far.
Yeah.
Talk to the tired waitress.
Let's see if there's anything else.
There's a sign, but that says bake sale probably.
Where do you see?
In the middle of
Ah.
it. But move your cursor down. No. Yeah, never mind. Anyway.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order? Sure. And my name's Edna Fitzpatrick. I'm not the one with amnesia.
Then you believe me.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I guess I've changed. I'm not kidding.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help anything. If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old.
All right.
Mr. Johnson has a liking for me. I call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands. He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge, and there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon. Sheriff Dwayne is such a dear man. And I don't just say that because he's my most regular customer. Every single day, rain or shine, he comes in here at noon for lunch. Sits in the same spot, too. That's at least an hour every day when I can be sure Mr. Johnson won't show up.
Mr. Johnson does have a way with words.
Dwayne never comes in here with Deputy Loomis, but he frequently dines with Mr. McKnight. You know, the owner of the TV station. Sometimes he comes in with Postmaster Boyle, but somehow I don't think they're friends.
Yeah, let's hear about Postmaster Boyle, because we need that.
Though I see them together a lot, Boyle and the sheriff never act very friendly towards each other. Almost like there's some kind of bond between them besides friendship, though what it might be I can't imagine. Maybe Sheriff Dwayne resents the fact that he's never been able to get into the lodge. Well, that's not Boyle's fault. He just hands out the applications. He doesn't decide who gets admitted. The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve. And soon.
Why? For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sun's belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
Interesting.
You've met Karen, my 8-year-old. Other than the diner, she's all I have.
She seems cute. It's gonna be a shame when something happens to her.
Oh yeah, something horrible's about to happen to that girl. Soon. All right.
We've asked him about Postmaster Boyle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think there was something.
There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him.
All right.
Okay, then.
Stop by anytime, Steve.
Well, you did it.
Police?
Yeah. The cop ignores you, too busy writing a bug report. Yeah, that's a good one, devs. Nice work. Stars and stripes forever.
Da, 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 da. No, that's still the flag. Okay.
Oh boy. A map of harvest. A pot hisses at you from its perch. An empty file cabinet labeled solved cases.
That's,
Him and Tex Murphy have a lot in common.
No, because Tex has actually solved a case.
Maybe. Not officially.
I mean, kind of.
Kind of. It's labeled unsolved arson and it's full. Unsolved murders and it's full.
How did this guy get elected?
There's Deputy Loomis and Sheriff.
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself.
I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here is Loomis.
Pleasure, I reckon.
Then, we haven't met before?
Of course we have, but I heard about your alleged amnesia and figured I'd play along. I sure hope this is just a prank, and not the start of some insanity plea. Keep your nose clean, or you'll wind up in jail, and that's no place to hold a wedding. I understand you witnessed Miss Whaley's dispensing a little discipline at the school, and she thinks you may be feeling a mite bent about it.
I'm on my own business.
Yeah.
That's always the wisest course, boy. Sticking your nose where it doesn't belong can get you in a world of trouble, especially if you're a gynecologist.
Wow.
Heck,
wow.
There isn't a psychiatrist around who disagree about what a calming influence a dent in the head can be. You can't argue with science, Steve. It's bigger than all of us.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you want to break your poor mama's heart with all this amnesia bunk?
I'm telling you the truth. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me.
Boy, you need to stop all this funning and get serious. You've got a wedding coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge.
Of course.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest. I think you and Stephanie are perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Disappointment?
Mr. Potsdam wants to hold the wedding in the lodge, but he'll never get in. Like all the rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge applications. And there's always a long line, never enough applications to go around, and even if you do get an application, chances are you're right out of luck. Fewer called to the order and even less accepted. And Potsdam, well, they've turned him down so many times, unless he does something radical, he'll never get in.
Wow. If this were a movie, I'd watch it. Yeah.
Crime-wise, nothing
They
much
went
has
there.
happened in Harvest since the newspaper fire. Oh, sure. Every week or so, we get the odd transient dropping dead. But other than that, it gets pretty slow around here. Sure, you remember. The Sentinel building burned down about 6 months ago.
That's what I'm telling you, Sheriff. I don't remember anything. Why won't you believe I have amnesia?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve. Anyway, the fireman said the fire was caused by arson. I never caught the perp, though.
But we found the gas can that was used. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's in the evidence room.
Loomis, that's classified. Darn it.
How many times you gonna have to tell me to keep my mouth shut, I wonder? Sorry, boss.
You've got the gas can in the evidence room? Did you dust it for prints?
You've been watching too much TV, Steve. Heck, who can make out all those curvy lines anyhow? No, it's sitting in there gathering dust, clean as the day we found it. Just in case I ever need a spare gas can. That case is closed, Steve.
Uh-oh. There's some bad stuff happening in this town. I'm beginning
Gee, you wonder?
I'm beginning to think this town might not be all it seems to be.
Loomis here is my deputy. Without him, I'd have a hard time keeping the peace, or at least taking a lunch break. Mainly Loomis answers the phone and babysits the office while I'm out, though sometimes he likes to go in the back and stain the jail mattress. Isn't that right, Loomis?
Oh, now, Sheriff, what you gotta go and say that for?
Loomis has more than his share of problems. I wouldn't invite him to the wedding. Or if you do, make sure he doesn't catch the garter. That could be embarrassing.
Oh, I wouldn't do nothing, Dwayne.
But I sure would like a little garter than been round Stephanie's thigh. Oh, well, that'd be right special.
Jeez, this is like,
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Anything I can help you with?
that coffee sure smells good.
Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope she don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs, don't you know?
Wow. Do you really want to ask him all these questions?
Probably not. Should we? Maybe. Do I want to? Not really. Especially a man's no. Like, not after asking the mom about duty. No. No.
Wow.
Anytime.
Sure you don't want no coffee? Anyway. Door's locked.
That's the evidence room, where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I wanted.
Oh, wow. Just casually putting out that he might be blackmailing people? That's really nice to know.
Yep.
Okay, let's check out the newspaper building. What's left of the newspaper building after an extreme fire? Oh, someone's busting out the theremin. 3 fire hydrants and the building still burned down? At least the plumbing's held up. There's a shovel there too. It's like in the middle. A shovel is sticking out of the burning buildings, or sticking out of the building's ashes. Yeah, take it. Nice. Now you have a shovel. That's gonna come in handy.
I'm sure.
So we still have the hotel. That's the last location we haven't been to.
And the fire station.
Yeah, let's check out the fire station. A fire truck with a lovely shade of pink.
Okay.
With all the rose, with all the rose pretty flowers, the firemen must have a ton of time on their hands. The pickets of the fence gleam with a fresh coat of white paint, like clean-cut soldiers standing at attention, defending truth, justice, and the American way.
Okay.
Please excuse the mess. They've done wonders with the upstairs bedroom, but this garage defies color coordination.
All right. Why is there somebody kicking a dog in the background? You want to talk to that dog? Saliva is foaming from its barking chops.
That seems suspicious.
Let's not point out the fact that these firemen are currently in the middle of an art project. A picture of a phallic-like structure standing all in a row. Decorative oriental fans from the Ming Dynasty. Wow. An impressionistic landscape. The lights are too high up to reach. Photorealistic mural of a peaceful countryside.
Oh, that's a mural? I just assumed that it was a window.
A well-endowed nude man standing in the moonlight. An accident just waiting to happen. Talk to Sparky, he's probably the guy.
I don't converse on the job, Steve.
Don't bother me, I'm sketching. Oh, look what you made me do!
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the House of Flame, as we like to call it. Oh, cut it out, Spots, honestly. Once he gets barking, a good piece of meat is the only way to shut him up. There you go, Spot. So, Steve, bet you don't remember me. Heard about that short in the old wiring. I'm Fire Marshal Sparky, head of your fire department.
Where did you hear about my memory loss?
I feel like they both need answers, but yes, the more.
Do you really want to know why they're sketching? They have nothing better to do.
Don't be silly. Everyone thinks that amnesia kick is a scream. Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Besides, it's my job to keep abreast of developments in the community, to better serve you, the public. I'm sure you'll be thrilled when you learn of the many civic improvements we have planned for your fire department.
Such as?
Well, don't tell any of the others, but I've secured a bolt of the most divine moth material. I've hidden it because, well, if any of these Marys got a hold of it, it'd be gone in a jiffy. So I'd rather keep it hush-hush. I'm going to make new drapes for the firehouse, and if I have any left, cross your fingers, I'm going to make everyone matching mauve pillow cozies.
Those are civic improvements.
Don't be such a party pooper, Steve. We're talking about art. Why? Besides, we haven't had a fire in Harvard since the newspaper building burned down. Though I'll admit that the wasp woman's place is one big accident waiting to happen. Isn't that right, Spots? Art enriches the community, Steve. No less than a pulsing fire hose or a fireman beating down a blazing door. So what if we're drawing a nude man? So what if all we ever draw is a nude man, or the same nude man over and over in all sorts of provocative positions? Context, not content. Process, not subject. Don't be so ghost, Steve. It's beneath you.
Wow.
Oh no, I
Art and a dreadful affair. You wouldn't think that a brick and steel building with a sprinkler system could go up that quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Dwayne was glad enough to see the thing go up, and so was McKnight. If you could get into that safe in his wall... Forget it. Look, Steve, as far as I know, the fire was an accident. Let's just leave it at that. Now don't you go moving. Some people think all we do is sit around, sketching, fetching examples of manhood.
What ungodly
for our
horrors made this
amusement.
possible? Drugs.
Nothing could be further from the truth. Why, just the other day we cited Ted to a crumb for fire code violations. All the dried out paper wasp nests clustered around our wooden house. Why, it's a chem log just waiting for the right faggot. Believe me, none of us wants to see another fiasco like the Sentinel fire.
I think that's it. Well, what are you going to ask him?
was going to ask about the dog, because I know that was an option earlier.
Oh.
Spots is a dandy watchdog, but like the rest of us, he has one awful vice. None of us can resist a nice cut of meat.
I don't think he swings like this, but I think Mr. Johnson would get along well with these people.
Yeah, he's into... Yeah, I can't top that. All right, well...
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Well, now we've met the fine gentleman at the firehouse. That just leaves...
The hotel.
The hotel.
That's owned by the...
Mortuary.
Mortuary. The mortician. There's the word.
God. Why is it? Why? Bark, bark. God. All right, so. There's vacancies. And there's gunshots. A pretty cheap-looking sign for such an uptown establishment.
I think it's the only establishment.
It's keeping watch over the town, so don't bother it. Reflections make the hobby seem more spacious than it actually is. Hey,
Not that bad.
he's in here.
Yeah, I noticed he was in here.
Door's locked. The somewhat ponderous console radio evokes an earlier era. A ledger of names, the last being Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe, checked in on Monday. That's the same guy you picked up in that mortuary's ledger.
Yep.
Young man, we really have nothing to say to each other. I have the feeling your image shall soon adorn my slab, and I'd rather not know the face of the meat I'm slicing. You know, I seem to have misplaced a ledger. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
No.
Nothing.
How strange. You're the only visitor I've had in days. I can't imagine what else could have happened to it. Perhaps the dead walk again and they're hungry for literature. At any rate, should any of them show those ledgers around, they'll wish they'd stayed in their graves. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
I'll just see myself out now. Nope, can't look at it.
Yeah, click on one together. Oh, you have the shovel equipped now. In case. Right click on the, left click on the, left click on the ledger and click on one another.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
No. Alright. Yeah, right click to view.
Oh, this is what we have to get.
Under no circumstances, any parties not mentioned on this release, the recipients to receive any harvest meats incorporate products. Okay.
This is what we have to get our dad to sign, if he is still among the living.
All right, then I guess we're gonna go save the game then. I think that's a good
Call
time.
it a night
Yeah,
for tonight?
we met everyone in town so far.
Yes.
There's probably more to do. I think the next time we play this game, we'll actually figure out what the heck is going on, if that's even possible.
If it's possible, I don't think it's going to happen tonight, the next week.
Well, we'll see.
I suspect it will take several weeks.
This game is beautiful, I agree. And I am really glad that you suggested this to us, Raging. I've seen this in PC Gamer magazine back in the 90s. I did not know it was like this, and I'm glad that I get a chance to play it as an adult to fully appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot more to do. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. So, tomorrow we'll be continuing our Shadowrun run into the, I guess, warehouse that we're supposed to go into. So that'll be me, Tex, Diggs, and Michael, and I think Deputy as well, going and doing war crimes. So for the war crime Shadowrun stream, that'll be tomorrow. And I believe Star Trek is still going on Saturday.
Can you have war crimes in an underworld situation? Is it just regular crimes?
Oh, yes. I don't know if you watched that yesterday. Did you?
I had it on, at least in the background.
Hey, I listed both of you as references. Well, thank you. If I give him a call, I'll be like, don't hire him. No. Anyway, we'll be back again tomorrow, roughly about the same time. Yeah, so don't mess it up for me. War Crimes on Friday, War Crimes on Saturday, and probably War Crimes on Sunday. A 3 war crime week. It's created for War Crime Weekend. That's what we're going to call this
Why?
weekend.
What's on Sunday?
Possibly they might run another game.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to convince Goat to let me stream it. I'm not maybe a character in it, but I'll run like the sounds and do like gunshots and like cool synthwave stuff. I think that would be fun. But yeah. Well, cool. That was that. Anyway, we're going to go try to not have an existential crisis. And
or nightmares.
Oh, I had plenty of those. And they're a lot scarier than this game. But with that said, yeah, we will see you guys again tomorrow for War Crimes Friday. Until then, you guys take care and have a good night.
See ya.